Hello friends. So now let me tell you the main best part of this. We are using the JSON server. It is used for creating the REST APIs. Okay. So now suppose I want to work with more complex APIs. So the best part is I can create myself those APIs and start working on it. Okay. So for that, let me make another database which is having. So I will making a copy to it. Okay, and I will name it db info. Okay, the name I'm giving, you will know it afterwards why name it I have given it db info, or let me use underscore. Okay, db underscore info. Now open this. So let me delete this as well. Yeah, and these. Okay, and let me parse it so I get a clear idea if it is right or wrong, because if it is not in proper JSON it will give me an error. Yeah, it is in a JSON format. Okay, so in this post we have ID, title and author. Now suppose I want a request which have more fields to it. Okay, suppose let me give you, I have an here info data, info field. Okay, and it is an array which is having a different information. Okay, so this info in itself have email value. Okay, let the email be info@apm-selenium.com. okay, let it be the phone 1 2 3 4 5 6, let it be in the string only, and the address in the address line. Okay, so what we have done here is, now this API, in this database we have four titles, four parameters: ID, title, author and info. And info has further three fields for email, phone and address. Now what we want to learn is how we update, okay, how we send the post request. Now suppose I want to add one more new field to it. Okay, then how it can be? If I talk about string, you can just copy paste and put slashes and your string would be ready. But how we can do with the help of an object, because it is quite complex. In a simple case we have studied, we have just created the class, okay, and getter and setter method of these and it was fine. But now how to handle this? So I will be teaching you that how we can handle these. Okay, so first of all, let me check it is a correct in JSON format or not, whether commas etc are not missing. Okay, yes, it is in proper format. If you expand, you will see you have this, and under info you have further information. So let us create, okay, the object for it. So let me name it as, so for this actually two classes would be created. The first class would be this and the second class would be this. I will tell you how. Okay, so let me name it as, or yes, new class, and I will name it as post underscore post, because the post we have used in before. So I am using the same name post so that you are not confused. Okay, so underscore post. So first in this method we have 4 IDs. Okay, so that is private string ID, the another one private string title, okay, private string author, okay, and then we have an info, private string info. Okay, and let us create their getter and setter methods. Okay, so let us make them public. Okay, one more thing. Here instead of string we will be using info, because for the info we have a separate class. Let's make it till now. Now make an another class and we will name it as a info class. So in this class we will be making these 3 objects. Okay, string, email, string, private string, email, private string number, phone, that is, okay, and private string address. Okay, so first of all, for all these 3 we need to create the getter and setter methods. When you are using Eclipse, there is a very shortcut method for creating getter and setter method. Just right click on here and under the source you will find the generate getter and setters. Click on it. So it has automatically detected that you have 3 variables here. So for which of these you want to create the getter and setter methods? Okay, when you want to create after the address, and it should be private, protected, final, what you want. Okay, and you click on OK. So you see a lot of your time has been saved in coding. Okay, so it has created the getter and setter methods, that it is for get email. Okay, it is for set email. It is the similar way with which we have created before. Similarly, phone, get phone, set phone, and get address and set address. So we have created the class object for this. Now let's go under post. So the 4 titles which were creating, this was string, this was string, this was string. This was of class type info. So here in the string we will be using info. Okay, so here also we can create a getter and setter methods. Okay, so use right click source getter and setters. So we'll be using for author, ID and title. For info we'll be creating our own. Okay, so click on OK. So it has created the getter and setter methods. Same, the get and set for ID, get and set for title, get and set for author. Now let us create the getter for info. Okay, so we will be using public. It is a get, so we will be returning the info class object, get info. Okay, and what it will return? It will return info object. Okay, and its corresponding setter method. So we'll be using public, okay, void set info, and we'll be passing the object of info, and this dot info is equals to info. Okay, so this is how we can create the classes for it. For this request we need to create 2 classes. One class is representing this 4 IDs, or we can say 4 variables, and the another class which is this one. So we have created 2 class corresponding to it, this 4 and these 3. And now we can send a post request. Okay, so for sending of a post request, so let me write here complex posts. Okay, and the command which I will be using is this post only. Okay, and let me create a test. I will be using public void test, and I think 7, now it would be 8. Okay, so first we will be adding info to this data to this info class. So we will be making an object for info, that is info is equals to new info. Okay, and we'll be using setter method to add data to it, that is info dot set. Okay, first I want to set the email. So email would be webhub, let's say @gmail dot. Let me use a valid. So let me use info only, info @apm-selenium.com. Sorry for the background noise. Okay, and we can use info dot set phone number. Let the phone number will be 11111. Okay, info dot set address, and let me put it here address, or in the address put me India. Okay, so I have created the info object. Now I will be creating this post object and adding data to it, that is posts is equals to new posts. Okay, and we'll be adding to it, that is post dot set author. Author name is, let's say, author only. Okay, post dot set ID, the ID let's say is 10. Okay, post dot set title, and in the title let it be title only, default text, and post dot info, sorry, post dot set info. So in this info we will pass this info object. Okay, so all the data which we have created here is passed on to here. So this is how we create the post data for our classes, for our API. Now we have ready post body. Now we need to send this post request. So let's see, use given, okay, given when, okay, and the content type we have to send in the JSON object. So we'll be using content type as JSON. Okay, and the body, in the body we will be sending an object of posts. Okay, so that's all. We will be taking it inside the response object, response RESP, and we would be printing the same body. Oh, I forgot to send the post here. I have to send the post request. Okay, so what is the post request? Post request is, this is the server address, and this is the URI. Okay, so that's the post request. So now we'll be printing it, response, response is resp dot as string. Okay, so now let's execute this, send this, run this as a test-ng test. So it has successfully executed. Now let's see our database now. If we see our database, yes. Oh, one thing wrong I have made, guys. Sorry, I missed one part. Just a second, I will let you know now. Okay, we created this database, but we didn't actually started this database. The database which we are using here was this db.json. Now we have to use this dbinfo.json. So we have to stop the old database. For that, use Ctrl C and yes, and now start with db.info database and start it. Okay, so now if you go here, your new database is started, and now send this request. Okay, so the same is added. Let's see in the database. You want to reload it? Yeah, you see a new data is added. Okay, the 10 title as title, author, and all the details, address India. So it is added exactly the same way. So you will be finding a lot of requests having multiple of these type of information, like we have information here, there would be something like this here and more information. So in that case, sometimes you need to create 2, 3, 4 classes for respective datas. Okay, so this is generally how we make the JSON object for sending in the post request. Okay, so please try it. It is a very important concept, and when you are working with real APIs, you have to use 2 to 3. Sometimes we in a very big APIs, we even use 10 to 15 class objects for a single API to send a single response. Okay, so it is better you refresh this and know the concept how we have done it. Okay, so in the next session we will be taking one more very good example to generate the JSON objects. Okay, thank you.